Columbus police have identified the teen found dead yesterday in the Mount Vernon neighborhood of Columbus.
Well, family and friends gathered in prayer tonight to remember the life of 15-year-old Shamaya Anderson, who was shot in Jackson Wednesday night.
In the first week of the new year, 2 young black girls were murdered and found stranded in the road. Unique Prater and Shamaya Anderson, both 15, families are broken and left confused about the tragedy. As of today, there are no suspects in their cases, although there were witnesses at the crime scenes. Both of the young girls' mothers are pleading for the public's help.
Kids are kids. And when you put a weapon or let kids have accessibility to weapons, these things happen. When you have that lack of visibility, when you have that lack of patrol, these things happen because there's nothing to prevent. It's hard to have that deterrence because the number one thing in safety and public safety crime prevention is to deter. And the number one deterrence is visibility. So when you can ride from one side of Jackson to the other side and not see a police officer at all, that's problematic.
Unique Prater was 15 years old and lived in Columbus, Ohio. Unique was in the 8th grade and attended the Columbus Collegiate Academy in her local town. Neek, her friends and family called her for short, was described as loving and funny. She had a big, bright personality full of love and laughter, her mother said.
She's funny, sweet, beautiful, intelligent.
She actually cared about people's feelings. Like, you could go to her and talk to her about anything.
She was a young girl that always wore a smile on her face and told jokes almost 24/7. Unique was also a big sister. She had younger siblings that looked up to her. Shamaya Anderson is another 15-year-old girl, but from Jackson, Mississippi. Shamaya was described as friendly, outgoing, and a vibrant 8th grader. She was the student that everyone loved to be around. Shamaya was very athletic and participated as a member on her middle school basketball team.
Very friendly, kind, very athletic, talented. It wasn't nothing she couldn't do. Overall, she was a great child.
The young, vibrant girl enjoyed school and sports as well as spending time with her family. According to reports, Shamaya and Unique were both considered the glue that held everything together. Today, both of their families are crushed after receiving the news that no loved one wants to hear. Both Shamaya and Unique were murdered the first week of the new year. It is said that the girls may have been set up, or some friends may know what led up to the tragic incidents.
Tonight, another teenage life taken too soon in Columbus. This is a picture of 15-year-old Unique Prater. She was found shot to death on New Year's Eve.
On December 31st, 2022, Columbus Division Police were called around 3:40 p.m. on a report of a deceased girl. When officers arrived, they found 15-year-old Unique Prater suffering from a wound alone on the ground. Sadly, she was pronounced deceased at the scene, and currently there are no leads or suspects in Unique's case. However, according to reports, her younger sister believes social media may have played a role.
Just this situation makes me sick.
Situations like this scare you at all?
Yeah. Cause I be thinking like I could be next. Like this violent stuff, it just gotta stop.
I couldn't wrap my mind around it at first because she is a kid. To know that somebody has such utter disregard for a child in her life and left her out here to be found by somebody else is horrible. The violence needs to stop. It's continuing and it's getting worse and worse, and it's just not okay.
Police said that there is no evidence supporting social media was a factor in this incident. Right now, there are still several questions that the public wanted answered, such as who may have seen Unique that day and who was she with? Her mother is still in complete disbelief and just wish whoever is responsible would come forward. Almost 800 miles away, another 15-year-old girl was killed just 4 days later.
Shamaya Anderson's mother says she is still trying to wrap her head around the fact that her baby girl was shot. Now she's demanding answers, and she wants her child's killer arrested.
On a Wednesday night in South Jackson, another teenage girl was shot at an intersection, and her body was left laying on the road. The Hinds County coroner identified the victim later as 15-year-old Shamaya Anderson. Witnesses said they heard over dozens of shots, and the deputy chief said Shamaya was shot multiple times. According to one witness, a group of teenagers were walking to a store when someone in a black vehicle jumped out and opened fire at Shamaya. Another witness, who requested to be nameless, stated that they heard shots out of the window. The witness also said they saw a gang of people forming a circle around the girl who had been shot. That's when the suspect started firing at onlookers before he was placed in a vehicle and got away.
It's my baby. All I want is my baby. Ain't no words to express how I feel. I just want my baby and justice for my child. I believe it's a connection of retaliation. An incident went on prior to this happening, and I believe my child was set up to lose her life to the streets. The guy that killed my child, he know who we are. And he need to turn himself in. I'm begging to the streets that he need to turn himself in.
Police are currently searching for a juvenile suspect in connection to the incident. The suspect has not been identified, but possibly is 15 years old. Shamaya's mother believes that her daughter was targeted due to a previous altercation. Nonetheless, Ms. Anderson said she has not heard from JPD nor a detective since the incident, but says she has a strong idea who is responsible for the murder. Counseling services are being provided to grieving scholars and staff in both cases.
The first day we went back to school, it just felt like the energy wasn't there anymore. Like, it was quiet, and it was just like everyone was down.
I wish that we would have spent more time together, and I miss her in the hallways.
Yeah.
She had sisters, that they looked up to her, as an older sibling. So it's just hard to take and really swallow that pill with her just really being gone. I don't feel like it's real to me, Like, I feel like she's still here. Like, I don't feel like it's real that she's really gone. That's a heartache to be able to wake up and not knowing to see your daughter on a daily basis. So it's very hurtful. Just so much to just trying to hold and trying to accept at the same time.
I just hope she just died peacefully. Like, really hope she just rests really in peace, and we're all missing her.
I love her so much, and she was one of my bestest friends, and I'll never forget her.
Wednesday night, loved ones placed stuffed animals, notes, and candles on Meadow Drive.
Very friendly, kind, very athletic, talented. It wasn't nothing she couldn't do. Overall, she was a great child, and we'll be missed. Truly will be missed, and it shouldn't have happened. She didn't deserve this, and our family didn't deserve this. And nobody, mother, should bury their child at 15 years old.
Miracle. That's what the mother of a 14-year-old girl is saying this evening after her daughter survived after being shot several times by her teen boyfriend.
She's just so proud to be alive.
Miranda Perales says her 14-year-old daughter, Jasleen Jones, is talking, walking, and smiling at Children's Wisconsin just 2 days after being shot several times.
She's still her spunky self. She can't wait to put on her makeup.
Investigators say Jasleen was shot in the head 3 times by her 14-year-old boyfriend when she tried to break up with him. They say the boyfriend admitted to shooting Jasleen in what he called a, quote, fit of rage.
I had no idea. No idea he had a gun.
Perales says her daughter dated the teen for more than a year. She never noticed any concerning signs.
I bought the kid Christmas presents, I mean, you never know that type of stuff until the mask is unveiled.
This is truly domestic violence at age 14. Did you ever think that was even possible?
I did not think that was possible. I did not think that was possible just because they're kids. And I didn't think evil was in kids.
The 14-year-old is charged as an adult with attempted first-degree intentional homicide. Considering the trauma Jasleen went through,
she's a walking miracle.
Her family is thankful her brain function wasn't impacted.
She's lost sight in one of her eyes, but the doctors told her she's going to be able to do everything that people with 2 eyes can do.
Jasleen will also have to live with several bullets lodged in her body, but she's taking the worst day of her life.
God gave her the second chance.
And using it to speak up for those in violent relationships.
This is her new path, and I'm going to help her in every way possible.